All right, everyone. Welcome once again. This is Eretmis Cyber Chat. We do this every Friday night. And like I always say, it's Friday night. You could have been anywhere else, but you chose to be here to share in the knowledge and then also to develop yourself as a cybersecurity professional or aspiring cybersecurity professional. Tonight's topic, we are going to be looking at some trending issues when it comes to cybersecurity recruitment, what hiring managers are looking for when they're employing a cybersecurity professional. And the report we are discussing tonight was conducted by, it was a research conducted by ISC Square. And, they interviewed almost 900 and something recruiters recruiters or hiring managers who have recruited entry-level, mid-level cybersecurity professionals in the past 2 years. So they kind of pick their brain on, what's going on, what exactly are they looking for, and that is what we are going to be discussing tonight. So hang on tight. We are going to begin time now, and we are also live on YouTube. So we are transmitting. So for anyone, if you have to leave, and go do something else, you can also catch us on YouTube as well. And on that note, we begin. So tonight's topic, 2025's cybersecurity hiring trends, and a breakdown is what I've just talked about. And this is brought to you by Eretmis Cyber Security Academy, Eretmis Academy. So Eretmis Academy is a cybersecurity academy based in New York. What we do is we train cybersecurity professionals in all different aspects of cybersecurity. I'm going to be your pilot tonight, and I'll probably be maybe piggybacking on one or two co-pilots as we are moving along. I'm Dr. Emmanuel Ledoux. I'm a former professor, University of Maryland Global Campus, formerly known as Captain Edu. I'm a former United States Army captain, and then also the CEO of Eretmis Inc. and the founder of Eretmis Academy. I'm a member of Forbes Technology Council as well, and I love mentoring and teaching in the cybersecurity space and beyond. Eretmis, we are partners with CompTIA, and what that means is that we have 20% discount on all CompTIA vouchers. So if you're looking to sit for any CompTIA certification, reach out to us. We will give you that 20%. And then also for everyone if you've written any certification in the past and you are looking to renew, there are two ways. You can either renew by resitting for the exam or by attending programs like this and usually putting in the chat hashtag team live and taking a screenshot of it, using it as a point for your continuing education. And how many of these points needed to renew your certification will depend on the certification body. Right. So if you have as many of these, you'll be able to use that to renew. We have a lot of folks who've used CyberChat to renew their certification. For everyone new to the family, we have a WhatsApp group for CyberChat. So if you are not part of it, we are going to send the link. You can join, and everything and anything cyber chat and everything happening in the Eretmis space, we also post it on there as well. Now we are also live on YouTube. So if you are looking to stream or for all our previous cyber chats, they are on YouTube as well. So you can go ahead and go through the ones that you've missed previously. Right. Now, tonight, we will be looking at some cyber news, and then we will jump into our 2025 cybersecurity hiring trends. So for cyber news, we don't have the slide, but I'll briefly maybe talk about it. I'm not sure how many of you saw in the news that ChatGPT's mother company, which is OpenAI, is being sued. Did anybody for a kid, I think he was around maybe 15, 16, who committed suicide using ChatGPT? Did anybody come across that news? Unfortunate news. And
Yeah,
I'm just
yes,
bringing it for us to discuss.
I heard it.
Yes,
I
okay.
heard about
Go
it.
ahead, George. Oh, you heard about it?
Yeah,
Okay. And the parents are suing ChatGPT. And, aside the tragic part of what has happened, is there a case I mean, this is not the court by any means, but we are looking at the use of AI, right, and the governance of AI as an AI company or as a security professional in a company that kind of is into the AI business. What do you think are some of the things that we can do to kind of mitigate some of these things, right? Because I was looking at the news item and I was also reading about it, and it seems like whenever the kid came up with, mentioned something about, on the lines of suicide, the open ChatGPT, put some help, like some helpline number on there and asked him to seek for help and, all that. But then I think he went around and made it look like he was writing a paper for his class. So that is how he was able to bypass it. And I think what he got from ChatGPT was what he actually used to commit the unfortunate incident, right? So do you think ChatGPT has some obligations or what are some of the things that they can do into it? I mean, if what are some of the security measures to catch some of these things? If you're working in OpenAI or you're a part of their management, what do you think are some of the things they can do to kind of, help, prevent such unfortunate incidents from happening? Any ideas?
Doc, that's a difficult one. The main reason why AI and we have humans have intelligence, they have emotional intelligence, but AI are machines. So that's why AI governance is there. So I mean maybe there should be some policies and frameworks to guard it.
Okay. Okay.
That's all I'll
Charles,
say.
please go ahead.
Yes. So this is just my guess. I think we can do something like input validation for some topics. We may have a policy that AI must be supervised by human, or checking like age.
Oh, you are coming
For
in
some
broken.
topics like oh, sorry, some topics where it got kind of limitation, like doing doing like invalidation, when or suicide, making bombs, attacking. We may do like have a human to supervise or to check the identity of the the user, something like that.
Okay. Anybody else with some insight on? I think there was another Williams. Williams, please go ahead.
All right. Personally, I think you see, just like Facebook, there's age limit by which you can have an account. I think some of those restrictions too should be since and then two should be implied. Then two, since it is an AI can also detect intentions somehow. I know we are human being, we are complex, but there's verification that AI that will be allowed, that AI will question some of those kind of verification, especially one, if the account owner is, because the major thing right now is the fact that I mean, the person is 15 or probably underage. But if um, 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 the account will be age restriction will be put into some of those kind of accounts, and then there will be some compliance put in check too. You understand? Once some of those things are put in check, of course, it's not going to stop it, but it's going to reduce it. That's what I see. Because, I mean, if 15 years having an account and begin to dig into some things, AI should be able to check. There should be check that will, somehow the AI should know there should be a check, you know, because it's on an age person. I know some people will say, kids use it for pool and all those things. But if it's going beyond some level, AI should be able to dictate that it is going beyond some certain levels. That is what I think.
Abdul, please go ahead. I think there were 3 hands up. Okay. Yes,
Yeah.
William spoke already.
Can
Yes,
I
kindly
chip in
go ahead,
something?
please.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
just want to.
actually,
Oh, go
okay.
ahead.
No, I
Go.
was gonna say, Williams already took most of my points, actually. I was going to talk about how when it becomes very sensitive, we need to put like a age restriction or maybe proof of ID to confirm the age of who is asking. Because, if it's a child, there's no other way to figure out except maybe there's an ID verification in place or something like that. That's my thoughts. Thank you.
Yes. Raphael, please go ahead.
Even doctor, yeah, for me, I think there should be some sort of emotional prompt, because today is a child, tomorrow it could be an adult that is maybe frustrated. So AI should be able to detect where the question is going from the question history, or what the person is typing, where the person is going, detect the emotion, and probably try to cut off or try to persuade the person not to commit the suicide. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. If I can just add anything, can I chip in something?
Yes, kindly go ahead.
Okay, my name is Francis. Just to piggyback off what he said, I think the way in which the people who design the place where you put the questions, they are prompt engineers. So maybe they could take a lesson from this and see how they could use a successive prompt to build emotional intelligence and then put another AI on it, so that they have 2 levels of prompt engineering that could detect emotion, just like other speakers have said. That will help, give an hint, apart from the ID restriction and age, whatever. Prompt engineering may be a solution, with another AI that is able to determine emotional intelligence sort of by, the list of prompts that is coming in through questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Joe, please go ahead.
Yeah, I think it should be shared responsibility. Parents have a role to play in this as well as, AI. We can't just blame it on AI solely. You see, where were the parents when this was going on, right? And there are certain questions. For instance, people ask Siri, do this, do that, and so on and so forth in the house, with the grandkids. So parents should be able to guide them as well, and say, hey, you can't go this way. So the age limitation is key, but who reinforces the age limitation should be both ways, both from AI perspective as well as from parents.
Oh, thank you, Joe, for that. And then also to add to what you're saying, so apparently the parents of this kid, before he started using ChatGPT, they kind of monitored what he was doing, and he said he was using it for his assignments and stuff like that. And they saw him under supervision a couple of times using it, so they kind of let him be, to use it. And he was using it for his homework and other stuff. But I think I'll let Emmanuel go, and then I'll give my take, and then we'll move on. Go ahead, Emmanuel.
Good evening, everyone. In my observation, it looks like most of the folks that have spoken have already addressed most of the areas. I just wanted to ask that the government also have a role to play on this. There should be a standby regulation to regulate the compliance level of AI methodology of operations, so that there will be a standby regulation to regulate what can be done and what shouldn't be done, because this having child's community suicide is just a tip of the iceberg what AI can do. There are a lot of folks who have that negative mindset to use AI power base to strike and abuse the system. So just like if those of us who are conversant with the SOX compliance regulation, It was the abuse of financial reporting that prompted the use of government coming into passing a bill that have created the source compliance for today. I think similar thing can be done for AI to validate the input and the operations of AI so that there will be an accountability when there is an incident.
Oh, thank you. And Gabriel, you'll be the last person to speak on this, and then we move on.
Oh, thank you very much, Dr. Adu. I think most of the speakers have done justice pretty well. So I just want to add that we need to understand that AI is actually created to operate on algorithms and data, and it doesn't have subjective feelings or internal awareness at all. That's why one of the greatest limitations at this time is why they say AI is not sentient. It cannot subjectively interpret certain situations. So for children at this time, parenting goes a long way in curbing, at least to a reasonable extent, some of those issues. Several other innovations that have been on ground. How have we been able to curtail the excessive our children go about it? These children have been in the education industry for about 10 years now, and I can tell you for certain that even the things that adults don't know about innovations and technology particularly, these children know about them, and they have a way of going around and doing whatever they have to do, regardless of the restrictions that are put on them when it comes to using ID validations and all of that. The things that they do without restrictions or with restrictions, you can never tell. They are so vast, and they have a community where all of those are being supplied to them. So it goes a long way to say that parenting and government restrictions would actually help in this regard. And the truth is, it's more like we are putting the cart before the horse at this, the cart before the horse at this time, because restrictions and monitoring ought to have been put in place even before this AI were dished out into the society. But because of the commercial gains and all of that, we understand why it's all out there and people are competing on who has the best and who doesn't have the best when it comes to AI now. So the government don't even have a control over it anymore. It's been capitalized already and you can't control it as it is. So it goes back to parenting and how much we can actually train our own children to understand what they need to do and what they shouldn't do, and monitoring them as much as we can to see how we can help them navigate this very, very, very delicate period that we find ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, sorry to come in at this point. Sorry, Doc. Sorry
yes,
about
go
this.
ahead, please.
Yesterday, I took a family to the airport, right? And a 5-year-old kid was able to use Waze, right? To the surprise of the parents, to give directions. Can you imagine this? A 5-year-old kid in the back seat was using Waze to give directions to the airport. Isn't it amazing? So, I mean, this is their age, you know, they were born in this age. So to them, it's like ABC, you know.
Yes. So thank you, Joe, for that. And I think overall, this goes to show that AI is in no place going to replace any of us, except, whatever you are doing, you're not adding value. Because obviously, let's say if you were, the resource that this kid was asking the questions about, and he keep asking questions about certain things, and you tell him, hey, I think you need help, and he comes back, no, I'm using that for research. You really call BS on that. You're not going to give that information out, right? It's like you're a security guard at a bank. Somebody wanted to come in after hours, and you're like, no, I mean, it's not allowed. And then he comes back again and say, oh, I forgot. I initially left my wallet inside the bank during the banking hours. So, I wouldn't go in there. And then you're not going to allow him in there. But, AI might allow him in there if he comes and he presents his case in a different way, right? Trying to trick the AI, right? So there is a lot of oversight that needs to be in place from the government side, from regulatory side, from parents, right? So we all have a part to play. It is not, anybody's fault necessarily. The parents did their best. I mean, you cannot oversee your kids 24/7 every single action they take, right? So, but you still have some responsibility. Also for the government, just like how the government have regulations in place, like I think somebody mentioned SOX and other, frameworks, like even in cybersecurity side, HIPAA, they have other data privacy regulations and others. In the AI space, during the AI governance class, we discussed this extensively. There are a lot of AI frameworks and regulations that are coming up, right? And that is what is going to make AI governance really stand out. And as a security professional, it behooves you to start, adding that to your toolbox, start learning, AI governance and everything that comes with risks associated with using AI, compliance, and then also governance of AI as well, right? Because that is going to be the way forward in how we are really going to manage AI. Because some of the self-driving cars that are operating on AI are also hitting people and killing them. So AI is not really up there. Even using ChatGPT for your usual activities and stuff, it will be giving you wrong outputs and stuff. You have to keep going back at it. So AI is still developing. It is helping, right, with most of the things we are doing, but really has a long way to go. And the governance and the regulatory side, we also have to make sure we are keeping a keen eye on it. And parents, we have to, parents really have to keep an eye on their children, not even just your children who are below 18, but even, even as adults yourselves, your siblings, if any family member is in any, shape or form that, looks a bit concerning, I think we should, keep an eye on them because like how Joe put it, if a 5-year-old can use Google Maps or ways to find his or her way to the airport, I mean, they can do anything, right? So adults can do the same, right? So we are jumping into our topic tonight. And before we do, our Labor Day sales starts today. It ends on the 14th of September. So if you are looking to jump into on any of our courses, this is the time to do so. And our catalog of courses for folks who are new to the Eretmis family, we offer AI governance specialist course. We started that early this year. A very interesting course and very hands-on. You're going to work with a lot of learn how AI works and functions, and then also the governance, the risks, and the compliance part of AI, like everything that we just discussed right now, right? So we will be starting a new cohort later this month. Also, our cloud security professional, cloud security specialist course for folks already in the security space, or if you are trying to, you are in IT trying to branch into cybersecurity, this is an area that you should look into. For folks already in the security space, aspiring, you've done some training, you've done internship, you're waiting to land your first role, I encourage you to look into this because you should be able to also apply everything that you know in security into the cloud as well, right? And this course helps you to do that. It comes with internship, very hands-on also as well. And then for folks looking to begin your journey in the cybersecurity space, this is the best program out there to help you do that is our cybersecurity entry-level course, right? Our cybersecurity entry-level course comes with taking you from scratch. You don't need an IT background, cybersecurity background to begin. There's no coding involved. You don't need a degree. And we take you from scratch. We build you in terms of knowledge. We move you into internship. You work with different cybersecurity projects, and then we help with job placement assistance, where interviews and everything as well, right? So if you're looking to begin your career as a security professional, this is the place to start from, right? And for folks already in IT space, in cybersecurity, we also encourage you to look into our PCI or payment security compliance if you're looking to specialize in a niche that cuts across all countries or all industries. In the cybersecurity space, that niche is the PCI or payment security space. And we encourage you to also look into this if that is something that you want to pursue. And for folks who've gone through some training already, you've done RMF, maybe you've done some GRC training elsewhere, that you really know, even if you are given the role today, it's going to be an issue, right? Because you can't do the job. And most people think You speak to some people and they say, I've worked on some projects. Working on projects is not using Nexus or using these tools or doing scans, right? We can show you how to do that in less than 5 minutes, and you'll be able to do that. But we can't show you how to conduct risk assessment in 5 minutes. We can't show you how to conduct an audit in 5 minutes, how to review policies in 5 minutes, right? So, and those are some of the things you're going to be doing on the job. And if you've never done it, during interviews, even if you're able to scale the interview on the job, you are not talking your way out of the job. You have to actually do and perform. So our GRC internship and workshop, this is where you actually get to work on real world projects, right? That way, when you transition into your role, it is going to look like you never, transition from the workshop and internship, because it's pretty much going to be the same thing that you are doing over there. And you are doing that in confidence. You are not going to be what I call working heart attack, right? You are going to do your work in peace, and you are happy every day to wake up to go to work, like most of the folks on here who went through this program and they are currently working, right? So on that note, our WhatsApp group, the link will be posted, and then our YouTube channel. We are transmitting live on YouTube, so kindly make sure you are subscribing to our YouTube channel. Now we are going to look at the 2025 cybersecurity hiring trends, right? Now, the whole discussion is based on ISC Square's report, and we are going to be looking at the report right here shortly. So from ISC Square, what they discovered for this research is that I think for the past year and a half, there's been some economic and geopolitical, issues within organizations and stuff. So that really has impacted budgets for every company, right? And that will obviously affect the cybersecurity sector as well. So, but still, the good part about this is on the cybersecurity front, although budgetary constraints are still, the demand for security professionals outpace the supply, right? So the demand is still really high. I've not checked CyberSeek, but the last time that we all checked together as a group during Cyber Chats, we still were sitting at almost 450 to 500,000 on-field cybersecurity jobs, right? So the demand is still there. Now the supply is still a bit low. And this is what hiring managers are struggling with, right? They have a limited pool of qualified professionals that they have to take from. And when we dig more into this, the government side is picking from the same pool of professionals. The corporate is also doing the same. So there's really that struggle, right? And some 4 or 5 years ago, it got so bad to the point where the government had to up their game. They had to increase salaries to match the corporate side. So that is how bad the demand is, and how low the supply is, right? So we are going to look at some of the key findings, because still the demand is high, supply is low. So how are hiring managers, how are they coping, and what exactly are they looking for when it comes to picking people for roles, right? So this research was a survey was conducted on 929 hiring managers across Canada, Germany, India, Japan, United States, UK, right? So to give us a better perspective, if it is just the United States, then it's kind of limited just to the United States. If it's beyond, then they took the some parts of some hiring managers from different parts of the world to give us a better perspective, right? So, and the focus was on how they are bringing in entry level and junior level cybersecurity professionals, and all these hiring managers, they've hired junior and entry level and junior level cybersecurity professionals in the past 2 years, right? So at least they know what they are talking about. Right. So what were some of the key findings? And then we will go into the actual report and look at, an extensive part of the findings. Right. So these key findings, we are going to jump straight into it. Each page is one finding. So don't get carried away by number 1 and number 2. Each one is one finding. Kindly give me a second. All right. So for the first finding was that when it comes to hiring entry level and junior level cybersecurity professionals, security managers or hiring managers, they prioritize that their priority is on hands-on experience and certifications over relevant education, right? So kindly give me a second. All right, so let's get in. Now, the first finding says hiring managers, they value hands-on experience and certifications over relevant education. Now, what is relevant education? So if you have a degree in cybersecurity, a master's in cybersecurity, a degree in IT, information security, yeah, all that is good. Now, also, the first thing that was mentioned here is hands-on experience, right? So certifications, yes, but certifications are not hands-on experience, right? So it means that if you have the degree, is good. If you have certifications, is good. But if you don't have the hands-on, i.e., if you've not worked on any project, and when you ask people like what I was talking about when I was introducing our GRC internship and workshop, when you ask people, have you worked on, when people come to you with, hey, I have a degree in cybersecurity, I'm looking for a job. My first question is, have you worked on some projects? And they're like, yeah, sure. We did some projects during in school. What did you do? Well, we did some scans, and we used tools like Qualys, Nmap. We did some scans. I've used Kali Linux to do. Yes, all that is good, but that is not necessarily what you're going to be doing on the job. The job goes beyond that, right? So what can you really do? It's like if I asked you, you are looking for a chef role, right? You are looking to, you are a chef. So let's say cybersecurity is a chef job. You are going to cook. And I ask you, you have your degree in cooking? Right? I ask you, have you cooked anything? And you're like, yeah. Or have you worked on any project? Oh, yeah, sure. What have you done? Well, I know how to use a microwave and a stove. And everybody sees what I'm getting at. How does that sound? You can use a microwave and a stove and a blender. Okay, good. But can you cook anything? Right. And that is where most people get where the disconnect is. People think if you can use these tools, then it means you can cook. But it doesn't work that way. You know how to use the tools all you want, but you can't cook to save your life. Right. Even though you have a degree in cooking. Same thing applies here. So the survey said, or the report says, they are looking for professionals with hands-on experience. And how do you get hands-on experience? By example from us, you can, if you take part in our entry-level course, you eventually end up in the internship and workshop where you work on some real-world projects, right? Doing audits, working on incident response, working on tabletop exercise, conducting awareness training, policy review, right? The risk assessment, third-party risk assessment, and you are doing these in real time. So you actually see what is going on and how it's done, right? Now, the second portion of this, and this is still the first finding, it says that most, so they would consider candidates with previous IT backgrounds. 90%, that is 90% for the hiring managers, right? And those with only entry-level cybersecurity certifications, 89%. So almost the same, right? Over those, so those with only education in IT or cybersecurity or computer science, suggestions that relevant experience and certifications can often outweigh degree alone, right? So what we've been discussing in the first bullets for this key finding, right? So I think that point is well made. Now, the next finding is that internships, 55%, apprenticeships, 46%, are considered powerful tools for identifying and recruiting early career cybersecurity talent. right? So for these hiring managers, if you can show that you've done some internship or some apprenticeship elsewhere, or even within their companies, when they do offer internship and apprenticeships, they will take about 50% or 46% from that pool, right, to fill entry-level roles, right? So I think this is some good insight into this. And then the second bullet says, whilst standard job postings and staff recruiting firms remain top source for identifying or recruiting entry-level and junior hires, tied at 57%. And we are going to look at this statistics where you can really find or which path can you get into this entry-level role. Is it through staffing agencies or directly through the companies, or they have the statistics for that also as well. So we will be looking at that here shortly as well. Now, we are moving on to the third findings. So whilst nearly 3 in 5 cybersecurity hiring managers, that is 58%, said they were concerned about attrition among entry-level team members. Most of them said they have both the budget to invest in their professional development. That is 75% of them, and to adequately staff their team, also that is 73%. Right. So mostly, when we discuss or when we do when we do job placement sessions for Cyber Chat, and we are talking about the soft skills portion of the whole deal, mostly we touch on this most of the time, but most of you might not pay attention to it, right? Hiring managers, they understand only one language, or yes, one. And the language is so aside the language is what they understand is how are you going to help their company and how are you going to make them look good. So if they are going to hire you and in the next 3 months you're going to leave the company, then they did a bad job, right? So they have to make themselves look good because they also have to keep their paycheck. And two, you also have to be the right person to be able to do your job. So you have to be technically competent as well. Now, how do they determine, or how are they able? They are not going to ask you, hey, are you going to stay for long when I employ you? How do they really get a feel of the right person who is not going to leave the company as soon as they come in and all that, right? They get all that information from most of the soft skills questions. So, for example, if I ask you, why should we employ you over somebody else? Your answer that you give, if you are so excited about this company and you are coming off as somebody who is really in love with the company and you really want to, do this for the company, then, chances of you might be faking it. Yeah, I get it. But comparing you to somebody who is indifferent, right? They are just there for the job. I'll pick you over that person, even just for the excitement that I see in your voice and in your, how you are answering your questions and how excited you are about this role by me simply asking you that question, right? So they pick most of their answers from most of the soft skills questions that they ask you to see if you are going to be the right fit for them and for the company. Because if you're a hiring manager and all your hires are leaving the company in 3 months, I don't think you are going to be a hiring manager for long, right? So now the next one is about a quarter of cybersecurity hiring managers that recruit from education programs. 55% of participants during this survey have identified entry-level and junior-level cybersecurity talent from programs outside computer science, IT, and cybersecurity, right? So mostly when we say you don't need an IT background to do anything in cybersecurity, now the hiring managers are speaking to this. So even in schools, when they are recruiting for cybersecurity and they are recruiting from schools, they look beyond computer science and IT and cybersecurity degrees or people in that program, right? So this goes to show you that there are a lot of skill sets that you might have or possess based on the degree you have or what you've been doing that is needed in cybersecurity. So don't sell yourself short and say, I don't think I have what it takes to be able to really work in cybersecurity. Now, this is not Dr. Edu saying, this is research done by ISC Square, right? Now, the next finding is that indicators point to cybersecurity hiring managers valuing non-technical skills as much as, or in some cases, more than technical skills, right? And Dr. Edu has been talking about this the whole time. So for, like I always tell everybody, without you knowing anything technical in cybersecurity, you probably have about 30% of the skills needed, because the skills needed in cybersecurity is not just technical skills. It's technical and non-technical. So if you have some of the, if let's say for a specific role, if we compare the technical and non-technical skills needed for that role, it's probably maybe non-technical is 40, technical is 60%. You might probably have 30% or even all the 40% for the non-technical. You have to do some polishing up on the technical side, but mostly the between technical and non-technical skills, which of the two is really difficult to master or really difficult to acquire? It's not the technical, obviously, because that is why our programs are 3 months, 4 months, 6 months. And somebody will say, is that enough for you to work as a cybersecurity professional? Yes, without even pointing to any of our students who are working with no IT background and came through and did this program, is yes. Because guess what? Even for people who are going to hold guns and weapons and defend the nation, their training, right? Their training to become a soldier is 12 weeks, right? If you go to basic training for all the different like military branches, basic training mostly is 12 weeks, right? So 12 weeks will be able to change you, show you the technicality of being a soldier and kind of change your whole perspective on things. Now, granted, there are military occupation or there are specific jobs that you do in the military. So you are going to do a follow-up and go to your, MOS training and polish up, depending on what your MOS is. It might take longer or less, depending. So, but to make you a soldier, you have to be a soldier first before you can go do your MOS training. Same thing here. You have to become a cybersecurity professional first. And then if you want to specialize in any area as you move along, you can do so. So you can, be technically proficient in 3 or 4 months. Now, for the non-technical part, that one, I don't think anybody can make you proficient in soft skills in 3 or 4 months, right? You should have that coming into the door already. We can polish it up and show you some of maybe what you have already. You polish it up and make it better. But if you don't have it, you don't have it, right? So, but for what you've been doing up to this point in your life, you have some of these, a lot of the non-technical skills, right? Even if you've never worked in your adult life, you still deal with people on a daily basis. You have your family. You were born into a family. You go to church. You are probably in charge of something at church, right? So all that play a critical role in your non-technical side as well. Now, with that, and this is Dr. Edu, this is not Dr. Edu making. This is a research by ISC Square. So when I keep stressing on non-technical, make sure your non-technical skills, you are polishing up on that. And that is very critical in what we do in cybersecurity. It's not just me saying it or just making you feel like you can do it, which of course, yes, you can do it. But, hiring managers, this is what hiring managers are saying. And this is from different countries and different continents, right? Kindly give me a second. I'll be back shortly and we will discuss our next finding. All right, I'm back. Sorry for that little break. So the next key finding is there. So I'm just going to read through this. There is a reoccurring disconnect between the skills and credentials that security managers expect from entry-level and junior level cybersecurity professionals versus what this group can realistically achieve at this stage in their career. Now, this has been a big issue. Sometimes I think I even saw a video or a post on LinkedIn that kind of seek to ridicule the job post, right? And I think it was rightly so. Because for the job post, it was an entry-level cybersecurity job. But when you go down the list of mostly they will label that to be like the skills that you're looking for. So after listing, most of the degrees or certifications and stuff, they also put, I think the first thing that they put on there was you should have, I think, 4 or 5 years of experience. But this was an entry level role, right? So how is somebody in an entry level role going to have 4 or 5 years of experience? Like, this is kind of funny, right? So, and the disconnect, what this seeks to, say, or why they brought this up was that some of the certifications or the skills that are required from or that we expect entry level folks to have, and what they can actually do. Because mind you, if you don't go to a program that is going to help you work on some projects, and I mean real projects, and from the example that I gave, a program that is going to make you actually cook, not just learn how to use a blender or a stove, but actually cook some food, right? So at least if you go anywhere, you know how to cook maybe one type of food or the other, or a bunch of different kinds of foods. So most folks in the entry level, junior level, they might have the certifications because most people are smart. They can maybe have some tests, exam questions or some dumps and memorize them and go past the exam. They might have the degree, but really what they can do in terms of technical competencies is a bit less. And sometimes some people are also good talkers. They can talk their way through interviews and get a job. And then after that, that's where the problem comes in, right? Now, for them, they become working heart attacks. For the company, they are literally kind of hanging on to their life because the company is also not benefiting or really getting anything out of them, right? So there is that disconnect on there. But if you are here and you are aspiring to get into a cybersecurity role, my advice, even if you don't want to come through Eretmis internship and workshop, go work on some projects elsewhere. And that is a really candid advice that I give to everybody. Work on some projects. It's going to help you, give you the peace of mind. You're not going to become a working heart attack. And if you are in any program and they are promising you do this and you do some projects, and the project is just learning how to use tools, stove and blenders and stuff, and you never cooked anything, then you have yourself, at least now you know what right looks like. So go get yourself some hands-on something. So we are going to jump into looking at the actual report. But before we do, our Labor Day sales started today. So for everybody who joined us a little bit late, our Labor Day sales start today, 20% on all our courses. And for the courses that this 20% applies to, not all of it is listed here, but our AI governance specialist program, our cloud security specialist program as well, and then also our entry-level course for anyone who is trying to break into the cybersecurity space. This comes with everything. It's very comprehensive. And then also for folks looking to specialize in the PCI space, the discount also applies to this. And then for our GRC internship and workshop, for folks, if you have a degree in cybersecurity master's, but you've never worked on any projects, and I can't stress on that enough. Working on a project is not just knowing how to use Nmap or Nexus or Qualys or Splunk. It goes beyond that, right? So working on conducting an audit, third-party assessment, doing risk assessment, incident response, right? Projects like that. That is what we do. And we do this for two companies, ADDI and Diaspora Care. And you are going to be working on these projects. And we really take you behind the scenes, make you a critical thinker in the security space. We always ask the why we are going left, not right, or right, not left. And we explain and break everything down to you. So if you find yourself anywhere and you are speaking about any project or what you are going to do for the company, now they will be asking you, are you sure you don't have about 10 years of working experience and you are just, dumbing it down just to get this role, right? And most of our students on here will speak and attest to that. Now, with that, we are going to jump into the actual report and look at some more statistics from the key findings, right? So any questions on this before we jump into the actual report? Then I encourage everyone, if you go to, when we started, I said, I'm going to show you some of the places and resources that you can use to grow as a security professional. Now, maybe most of you might not know, and some of you might know, every year, right, throughout the whole entire year, different organizations within the cybersecurity space, they conduct different research and they come up with reports, right? So ISACA, they have a bunch of them. CompTIA also does the same. ISC Square, they do the same. ISSCA, there's one organization like that. They also do the same. I know Palo Alto, they do the same. We have a bunch of incident response and incident response type of reports. So what you're going to get out of these reports, and for all these companies that I've listed, you can go to their websites and subscribe to their newsletters. So when you have to do it just one time. So when these reports come up, you're going to receive an email to show that, hey, and that is how you grow in the industry, right? Now, one way to really grow really fast is also attending cyber chats, because now you're going to get all that information, at one spot, right? So, but with that being said, kindly make sure you are checking these companies. That's how you learn about current things going on. And then also these research, they talk to industry players. And for mostly for the certification organizations like ISC Square, CompTIA, and ISACA, mostly they have reports or they conduct research on the most trending certifications and like which ones pay more or most. They do career development or career path or the workforce. They also kind of do a report on that overlook, but there's a lot of them that they do different reports. So kindly visit these sites or these companies and you'll be able to learn a lot from them. Now, tonight we are looking at ISC Square, right? So kindly hold on. I'm going to share my screen right now and we'll look at the report. So this report, we actually just generated the PDF by ourselves. They don't have the PDF. They have it on their site, right? Other reports, they have the PDF on there that you can download, right? So this is the 2025 cybersecurity hiring trends. And the key findings, they have a very interesting read, right? Now, the key findings we've discussed already, some of them are here. So we are going to jump into, I think there were some, okay. So where do you find entry level or junior level cybersecurity candidates? Now, this list goes to show you some of the avenues that you can use to apply and which ones, have the most success, right? So when it comes to staffing and recruiting organizations, they kind of serve as middlemen, right? So if they reach out to you on LinkedIn or in any of these, platforms, and they said, hey, we think, what you have on there, you might be a good fit for a role that we have for a client. Yes, you can play along and go that route. Now, they say that 57% for all the placements for entry-level roles. Now, for standard job posting, if you go to LinkedIn, they do some job postings on there as well. Indeed, Glassdoor, right? All those sites, they also have the standard job posting. And also, if you go to Google, Google is a big one. If you go to Google, Google kind of compiles everybody's in one screen, right? So you'll be able to at least check the different jobs out. So that is the standard job postings. That is also 57%. Now, internship programs at my organization. So when some organizations, when they offer internship programs and you're able to get in there, sometimes they might retain maybe 50% or 55% of the people who actually, participated in this. Now, colleges and universities, they also have some placement programs where they can place some students. So that is also 55%. Apprenticeship programs within the organizations also were sitting at 46%. Now, certification organizations, now how do certification organizations, place you? Well, if you have any certification, right, and you go to Creditly, Creditly is where everybody puts their certifications logo that you can use to post on LinkedIn, right? If you go there and you click on your certification, you click on, I think, jobs, you see a list of jobs that you qualify for per the certification, right? And once you click on it, it takes you to the different job boards. So this is what they mean. That also fetches around 35% of this. Now, industry and trade associations, 32%. Local, state, and federal workforce programs, 23%. Other departments within the organization. So maybe if they pick people from other departments, that is 22%. And veterans. So veterans and the military also, they have programs for folks who are getting out. So then that can also give you some placement in this space as well. That is 12% and 8% respectively, right? So with that, I think there was another statistics that I was going to look at. So who sets job requirements for entry level and junior level cybersecurity roles, right? And now this kind of is all over the place, but we are going to look at it here. So underneath, we have non-technical skills, we have education, we have keywords required used in screening tools. Okay, so we are going to pick these one after the other. So for the non-technical skills and personality attributes that are found on the job posts, on the job requirement, that is posted by so 37% is from the IT or security team, IT security team on this side. So IT security team, and then also HR kind of takes the lead on this. 60% is from HR. Obviously, this will be from HR. Now, education, also 67% from HR, 55% from IT, and then from IT and security, and then IT security team. When we talk about certifications, 73% on this side. So their chart is kind of a bit confusing if anybody is paying attention to it, right? Now on this side, also looking at the straight line, they have 73%, and this is from the IT managers, right? And for nice to have technical skills, also 75%, 45%, and from the different groups. Now, does it really matter who comes up with or who sets the job requirements for these? Like this part of the research, does it really matter, or where are they trying to get to with this, or where are they getting at with this? Anyone? Any takers on this?
I
How will this
think,
help you if you know this going into an interview? How will this help you?
well, hi, my name is Daniel.
Go ahead,
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I think from the graph, or what looks like a graph, the the thick green at the very top looks at more around the IT security manager side of things. Now, somehow it seemed like it's dropping if you look towards the end where you have 67. Then for some reason, the one that is at the bottom, which is the blue dot one, it seems like it's sort of picking up, which has to do with the HR side of things. Based on your question, I think it's more around the way I want to look at it is beside the technical skills, yeah, you need other skills, i.e., people skills and all of that, as a mix, really, not just the technical skill or the IT skills, but other non-technical skills would help you. Certifications are great, but we know these days some people are good at passing exams, but when it comes to the practicality of things, they are not really good. So that could be a concern as well, where, yeah, your CV looks good, you got all the certifications and all of that, but the people skills and all that you need to work within a team or an organization, you don't have it. So yeah, that's my take really on this. I believe others would have some other explanation.
Thank you, Daniel. Charles, please go ahead.
Yeah, I think I have like a different point of view. For me, it's like those three category, you can match the three interview you have to do. The first with the HR, then the team, security, and finally with the hiring manager. So the hiring manager is the ones who have the last word to say about your candidacy. So for the first round, you don't need to show like more technical, and on the second round, you have to be kind of technical a little bit, and when you talk with the manager, you must give everything you have on the technical, because when you talk with the HR, it's not gonna be the same the way you talk with the hiring manager.
Okay.
Show him that you have all the technical skill, because they're looking just for that. HR may look for your communication, they may look for your soft skills, and that's the way I understand this. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you, Charles and Daniel. And you are both right. Now, reason why I was asking that question is mostly if you go to cybersecurity interviews, you're gonna do 3 or 4. Your first one probably with the recruiter. That doesn't really count. The recruiter mostly to have a feel of what you're about and what you want, right? And then they'll move you on to the next one. So you are going to have at least one technical and non-technical, kind of a mixture, and then one non-technical interview, right? So with these interviews, you have to know who is going to interview you, to also knowing what this chart or this graph will help you do is, if you know who is going to interview you, that person is from HR or kind of HR heavy in what they do, then you should know when you look at this graph, you will see that when it comes to HR side, they were the highest when it comes to the non-technical personality attributes, right? When it comes to your technical interview, you know who was the highest when it comes to security clearance compliance. So this is security clearance compliance, critical required technical skills. The highest was your IT security managers, right? And for professional experience on mostly also on the technical side is going to be them. For nice to have technical skills is also them, right? Now your IT and security team, they kind of float in the middle, and they kind of, comes down when it comes to the technical side and then the non-technical side. But you can see that HR is going up when it comes to the when it's getting less technical, HR is going up, right? And even for your IT managers, for the non-technical side is, diving down, right? So knowing this will help you prepare for your interviews. So if this is your behavioral, or if the person going to interview you is your operations manager or anybody who really don't have necessarily cybersecurity title, or even if they do, but they are director, VP, CISO, their focus is really going to be much more on the non-technical side. Although maybe they will kind of put one or two questions on the technical side, but even that is not going to be very technical, right? But their focus, mostly they are looking for your personality attributes and if you're a good organizational fit. Now, these folks, your IT and your security managers, they are the ones who are going to be pushing for the tech, because they are the ones who are going to work with you and they don't want to babysit you. So they want you to come in to, give them that peace of mind for them to work. They are not going to be the ones teaching you what to do every day and asking them, what do you have for me? Can I do this? Is this even right? Does it? They are not looking for that, right? But for the folks on the HR side, they are looking to see if you're a good organizational fit, right? So that is why I asked this question. So kindly go ahead and download this and get the full report, right? So you take your time and you look at it. Now, this is some statistics also down here. Here it says hiring managers in the UK and India, both 74%, they said 74% of them said significantly, they are significantly likely to say that HR determines the non-technical skills and personality attributes, compared to managers in the US, 60%. And then Germany 53, and Canada was 51, and Japan was 45, right? So the highest next to UK and India, the United States, 60% of them answered, the hiring manager said HR determines the soft skills, or the soft skills and personality attributes that they put on the job description, right? All right, so with that being said, who screens entry-level job application at the organization? So one, HR and HR tools. So your soft skills, your ATS tools, they do 13% of the screening. Now, IT team, cybersecurity hiring managers, and HR, they also do, together with HR, they do 53% of the screening. Your IT and hiring manager, IT, cybersecurity hiring managers, they do 35% of the screening, right? And they go a little bit more deep into what the screening entails. So that is what I'm saying. Get this, and you'll be able to get more info on that. Now, the role of certifications, right? That also was one big factor. So, would you consider an entry-level or junior level candidate with only the following experience? So previous IT work experience, they said 90% of them said yes, they will take. Hold an entry-level certification, 89% said yes. Education in cybersecurity, IT, CS, no work experience, 81% said yes, they will take. Self-taught in IT, cybersecurity with no work experience, 62% said yes, they will take an entry-level person like that. Previous other work experience outside IT, cybersecurity, 61% said yes, they will take. Education in other fields with no work experience, 44% said yes, they will take. Right. So what does this really tell you? If it tells you anything at all. Anyone? Oh, go ahead, Daniel.
Yeah, I think I want to focus more on the 80. I mean, they're all great, but I want to focus on the one for 89 that says holds an entry level cybersecurity certification, and the following one that talks about education in cybersecurity IT with no experience. So basically, just like some of us here don't have experience within the cyberspace. However, we are educated, one way or the other, perhaps first degree in something funny, maybe history or literature or whatever. Do you understand? However, we're coming into the space, okay? We've done like CompTIA and all of that. These are some courses or programs that's kind of provided some little insights into what cybersecurity or what security is actually all about, you know. I know that I'm from the UK, but I realize that in the UK we value experience more. In America, they value more certification and qualification. So in this space, I think 89, 81 is great. It's great.
Okay.
If you have a combo of both, it's fine. It's more around, you're getting your foot into the door, sort of. Then from there you can, find your way, move on and all of that really, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Williams, please go ahead.
For me, from these statistics, my conclusion is that there's job for every cybersecurity person. We keep pushing. It just depends on the level. I mean, which means even if it is 10%, you can be among those 10% that is needed in that part, So I just felt that actually this statistic just encouraged me. I just felt if I can sharpen my skills the more, or if I can do more, I'll fall into a certain percentage of the job market. So my own conclusion is that the job is there. We just keep pushing and then don't give up if that is what anybody wants to do.
Yeah.
That is it.
And Apia, please go ahead.
Thank you, Dr. Adil. I think this statistics is a good one which has encouraged me. And as the two other has already spoken, I think it's the best. And we should keep pushing on because today I was really down. I've been applying for so many jobs and it's like I'm not getting anything out of it. But when I saw this data, I think there's a way and there's opportunity for me to keep on. Sometimes the recruiting agents will give you a call. We saw your resume, we saw your this at LinkedIn, and we think you'll be the best fit for this position. So they'll have a talk with you as okay, let's talk to the agent or the company who needs you. Then the next moment is like, oh, the company says they are moving with other candidates. And it really put me down. But when I saw this data, I really encouraged, and I think I will thank you for that. And I also want to encourage anybody who is also searching for a job that there's opportunity for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Apia. And I think Charles, please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Me is just like question. I wanted to ask how to show your certificate. Let's say you want to apply for the junior level or senior level. You still have to show all the entry level certificates or just show the advanced certificate? That's my question.
Okay. So they are not just looking at the certification as everything, right? So that is why even when you have the certification, you still have to go to an interview. You have to prove to them that you can do the job, you're the right person for the job. And during the interview, they are not just looking at your technical skills and abilities, they are looking at your soft skills as well, right? So if you come in and you have the certifications, 5 certifications, you have a degree, a master's in cybersecurity, you've been like a career IT person, you've done everything in IT, but on the soft skill side, you don't seem to be a team player or somebody who really gets along with people well. They're not going to give you the role. They rather give it to somebody who is half, your caliber when it comes to technical proficiency, but 100% on soft skills, somebody who can get along with everybody, who can, right? So it's not just that is why they will interview you, even if you have, because there is no, is there any certification for soft skills? No, right? There is no certification that says, hey, Charles is a very friendly person. This is certification for friendliness, certification for, so that is why they still bring you in for an interview, even if you have the baddest certifications and you have the degrees and everything to back it. Yes, the technical side, you are solid. Okay, what about the soft skill side? Because in cybersecurity, you are not going to be an island. You are always going to work with somebody, work with a team, collaborate with different stakeholders, right? So if you hate talking to people, but you just want to do your job and stay in your space, then this is not going to be for you, right? So learning how to work with people, and that is what they are looking for, because even if you are very proficient technically, but you can't work with other people, then the job is not going to get done, right? The company is not going to get anywhere. So on that now, I think Apia and Daniel and everybody who spoke, you kind of touched on what I was looking for, right? Now, to encourage everybody this week, Atankugu, right? Asana, if I got his name wrong, he should forgive me. He couldn't join us, but we have a good news. And I think Asana, he's in the internship that is about to graduate, or the ones that previously just graduated. He just got a job. We've been doing some job placement, interview prep on the side. He just got a job today. They gave him his offer today. So that is also an encouragement to everybody. Now, what I was trying to get at when I asked this question was that you've seen that the hiring managers, and this is from hiring managers around the world, they said they will employ, 44% of them said they will employ somebody with no IT background, no cybersecurity background, education, who, if you have education in any field, you can be a nurse, you can be a dentist, you can be an accountant, they will still pick you for an entry-level cybersecurity role. Right. So that should be an encouragement to everyone. You know why? Because yes, you might say, but this person don't know anything. They don't have any technical cybersecurity. It is not only technical cybersecurity skills that is needed here. All they need from you is you are trainable, right? You can work with people and you are ready to learn, right? Now, caveat to that is, yes, they said they are going to pick you, but at least for you to be marketable, or for you to be compete, for you to be able to compete, you have to make sure you are polishing up on the technical side. So getting in programs that will polish up your technical side of cybersecurity as well. So this should serve as an encouragement, because if 44% of hiring managers from around the world said they will pick somebody with a degree in a different field, not IT related, with no experience in cybersecurity or IT, they'll still pick you for a role, then you have no excuse if you go to an interview and they keep saying they are moving on with somebody and you have boo-boo face, like, oh, well, because of my degree, or because of, no, it has nothing to do with your degree. You just didn't perform well during that interview. If you're applying and they say they are moving on with somebody else, it means, and they didn't call you for an interview, it means you have to work on your resume. That is simply what we have to do, right? Now, if you get the interviews and you're not moving forward, we have to polish up on your delivery. It's not because you cannot do the job. Convincing them that you can do the job, maybe you're not convincing them well enough. You might have the skills, the knowledge, everything, but we have to polish up on that side as well, right? So this is to encourage everyone. Now, let's look at another one, and then we'll be about to wrap here shortly. Silo, please go ahead. So whilst you are muted if you're trying to speak. So here, this one is about weighing the importance of IT experience, education, and certification. So IT experience, nice to have, is 55%. Critical is 44%, right? And this is from the hiring managers. 1% not necessary. So education in security or related fields, nice to have 53%. Critical, that means
Hello.
they need it. That is 43%. Go ahead, Simon.
I'm sorry. I think I just speak. Sorry. Oh, it's my mic with off. Okay. Yeah, my question is, please, how can we do this just by training online with you?
How
Because
can you do?
sometimes,
Mhm.
because sometimes it's so difficult because when you take a class online, you think you understand or you're ready to work very efficient, but when you take a job or when you try to get a job, is different when you make a
Okay,
practical.
good. Thank you for bringing that up. So training is different from doing, right? Now, for us, we just don't do training, we also do. So, for example, if you go through entry level, the first portion of entry level is training. So you learn the basics, the fundamentals, you go deep into different parts of cybersecurity. Now, once you're done, the doing starts from the hands-on where you work with some tools, and then we move you into internship and workshop. With the internship and workshop, you are learning by doing, right? So on the job, there is no disconnect. You are still going to do on the job. And on the job, you are doing and you are learning more as you are doing, right? So if you are in any, and in cybersecurity, the good part is you don't have to be there in person to do the doing, right? If that makes sense. Because most jobs that you are going to do, they are remote. So you are not there to do the doing. Same way for internship and workshop or training or programs that are going to give you the hands-on. You don't have to be physically present at Eretmis to be able to do projects, right? Projects are project-based, and we show you how the projects are done, and you actually give you the opportunity to work on these projects, right? So hopefully that makes sense.
And may I please?
Yes, go ahead, please.
And yeah, another side is when you oh, come on. Okay, when you get a job now, is sometimes it's so difficult to have a. Okay, yeah. When you finish your training, sometimes it's difficult to have a job. I saw in the message early, and in the chat, someone read he get a certificate or he finished her training, and now he looking for a job. And since now he don't get nothing. That is why we scare sometimes to learning, just training, or when you
Oh,
finish,
so
you don't have an opportunity
you
to
have
have a
to
job.
wait. Nobody is going to promise you a job and say, as soon as you are done with the training, here is your job. You have to apply for the job. You have to go to an interview like everybody else, right? So if you finish the training and you apply for a job every week, how soon do you think you are going to get a job? Not soon enough, right? If you go to one interview or two and they tell you no, and you are boo boo face and say, well, I mean, I give up, you're not going to get a job. Right. So if you are scared to make this move, then you don't believe and trust in your own self. Because if you believe in yourself, then you're going to bet on yourself. Right. So when there are a lot of folks, almost everybody here, probably you've gone to school, you have a degree, you have bachelor's degree, master's degree. What was the guarantee that and most of you are not even working with the degrees that you got from school? How much did you pay for those degrees? Who guaranteed you a job? Or they said, oh, as soon as you're done, there's a job waiting for you. Right? You have to be the one applying for the jobs, going to the interviews. Now, the best thing, like what we do better than even your colleges that you went to, is there's always resources to help you prep for interview, to prepare your resume, to help you with resume, to help once you finish with your school that you went for your degree or master's in, can you reach out to your professor and say, hey, help him with my resume? Or I'm going to an interview, I need help. Once you are done with school, you are done. Nobody's going to help you with anything. But here, you have a whole army of resources. There's a lot of folks on here who have gone through, they are working, They can guide you. They can, okay, you're going to an interview. We can link you with somebody. They can help you, right? So if you are scared because somebody said they finished and they didn't get a job, well, somebody also finished and he got a job. What about that? Right? Depends on, is the glass half full or is the glass half empty? Depends on how you look at it and how well you bet on. If you believe in yourself and you want to bet on yourself, then you can do this. But if you want a guarantee that, hey, there has to be a job at the end of the tunnel before I start, then you're never going to start, because the only person who can guarantee you a job and say, yes, there'll be a job waiting for you is the person who's going to pay you. And at Eretmis, what we can promise you is, we can promise you that when you do land a job, you'll be able to do it and do it well. And you have that peace of mind, you're not going to run away from the job. You'll be able to do it well, right? When it comes to the job application, we help you with the process. So you apply, like Apia was saying, you hear he's gone to an interview, it didn't go well. You have to reapply. And sometimes people don't want to go through that. They have 1 or 2 rejections and they are like, well, I give up. Well, if you give up, then you're never going to succeed, right? And 2, you are looking for 150,000 job, 100K job, and you got 2 rejections and you are giving up, then I don't think you are worth that amount of money. Really. Frankly, that is, my take on that. Because somebody went to medical school for 10 years with a lot of student loans. Once they are finished, when they start them off, how much are they making? Medicals, depending on where they are in the States, but I don't think most of them are starting off even with 160, 170. But somebody took a course for 7 months. Maybe it took him 1 year to, after a lot of, 10 or 15 rejections, he landed a role and it's for 170K. We have to do a lot of comparative analysis and, see it for what it is, right? But if there is anybody online somewhere telling you, hey, come, I'll give you a job in 45 days or less, I've heard people say that, and it's kind of funny, right? It's just a marketing gimmick. The 45 days or less, you should ask yourself, how much technical knowledge and skill am I going to absorb? How proficient am I going to be? Not how quickly can I get a job? Because when you're technically proficient and you can combine and, present that well, you eventually get a job, right? So hopefully that helps. Appear, Roger, if I got your name wrong, kindly let me know. And then Rex. So Apia, kindly go ahead. And then Roger will go, and then Rexford will go. Then we move on to
I was just trying to find out if you do interview preps and resume for vulnerability management analysis.
So we do interview prep and for all cybersecurity, right? Not just one role. And I think if you reach out and we speak, we can speak a little bit more into, you shouldn't just be looking for one role or targeting just one role. Somebody will say, I just want to be a SOC analyst. I just want to be a vulnerability. Really? Why? And when we probe further, you see the problem and the reason why, right? As an entry-level security professional, junior-level security professional, you should be able to do a lot of the roles if you have the right training and the right hands-on, practical experience, right? So as you're moving up is when you want to specialize. But if somebody just took you in and trained you on just third-party risk management, what was your background in cybersecurity to be able to even understand what is going on in third-party risk management? Right? Or somebody say, hey, come, I'll just teach you maybe PCI. You don't even understand cybersecurity and the different concepts and theories and things that are going on. And the same principles and concepts at a higher level is what is being taught in PCI. So how are you going to understand? Yes, you can memorize the steps and know, yeah, you do this, you do that. But then that is where, when you get on the job or even during interviews, hiring managers and people interviewing you, the technical cybersecurity managers, they see through that, right? If you don't have the foundation, because then they are not limited to just asking you questions about vulnerability management. They can throw you off, ask you some basic questions in some other cryptography or something, and that will totally throw you off because you don't have a really good foundation in that area, right? So we can talk offline more on this. Rajay, please go ahead.
Good evening, Dr. Adu. Good evening, everyone. Yes, you got it. You got my name right. The last
Oh,
time is
thank you.
Raji. So excellent. Um, but no, I really and truly, I just wanted to piggyback off of what you were saying, which, having to encourage everyone that I think based on the statistics that you spoke on earlier, it just goes to show that anything is possible. And we're in a market now that is very aggressive, and there's a lot that is happening across the world globally that is changing the landscape of employment. So, for us as individuals who are looking to pivot or to transition into cybersecurity, the mindset has to be that we're willing to do whatever it takes. And it's not a matter of really like you were saying, getting a couple no's and getting rejected, that determines our direction. If we really want it bad enough, we'll do whatever it takes. So it means that you're going to have to equip yourself in as many ways as is possible to stand out against everyone. And the good thing too is even if you get a couple failures, it adds to your personal story that you can share with the prospective interviewers that amidst the difficulties, you really wanted this so much that you went above and beyond to learn more, to grow more, to get a new certification, to get a new skill set, etc. But you didn't let any of the negatives deter you. So for everyone, like at the end of the day, it's possible and it will happen, but it's like we all have to stretch ourselves. Like was mentioned, we all have different backgrounds, etc. But to get to where we want to, we have to grow. And a lot of people, I think, are running away from the growth phase, and maybe want a quicker scheme, but the reality is we can't. There's no shortcut, and we all have to go through this. But the good thing, as has been demonstrated, is that it is possible. We just have to believe in ourselves, and it will happen. So I just wanted to share that, tidbit.
All right, thank you. And to piggyback on what you said, yes, it is possible, and it also another phrase for that is how bad you want it, right? So because let me give, and I have so many of those examples. I'm not sure if Frank and others were able to get on here today, right? We have some folks who come through Eretmis, and one big example is Michael. So Michael Yeboah came in and he was like, "Hey, Dr. Edu, I'm going to get a job in 6 months." I think he said he's going to do the whole entire course and get a job in 6 months or 5 months thereabout. And I'm like, okay, that is ambitious, but it's doable. Guess what? He got a job in, I think, before they even finished the internship. And that was almost 5 months, right? Now, some people come through, example, like Frank and others. They'll go through a couple of courses. It took them, life happens, so he'll be applying. They go to a couple of interviews, no success. Something happens in the family, puts it off, go to take care of it, come back. Took him almost a year and a half to get a job. Now, some of those folks that it took them a year and a half to get a job, or sometimes even 2 years to get a job, now some of them are doing two jobs. They are making over 250K. So if you knew trying for maybe a year, after all that trying and all that rejection, you are going to get a role for 170. I don't think you'll be boo-boo face if they told you no 10 times. And you knew on the 74th no is where you are going to be given, or after the 74th no, you are going to have 165K role, right? So, like you rightly said, we have to be real, doing the comparative analysis. Because for somebody who's gone through nursing school for 4 years, and some of you are in the medical space, for 4 years, with all student loans, all that, what is their starting salary? I don't think any nurse is starting off with 150, 140, right? But if you take a training for 6 months and you are going to spend the next 6 months or 7 months to look for a job, you think, that is too much. The job should be there. No, the jobs are there. You have to push for it, right? You have to push for it. So And for you, what you can do within your power is make sure you are acquiring as much technical knowledge and skill as possible. And then you are going to, when you start applying, there's always going to be a guide, so we help it. Your resume, interview prep. Now, the best part is even that during internship, once you're done, the projects and the companies you work for, that goes on your resume as well. So that even counts as we are starting you off really standing on the shoulders of giants, right? So you have working cybersecurity working experience already. As of, compared to your other candidates who are putting places that they've never worked on there and posing. For you, you are not just putting that on there, and you are not posing because you actually did the projects and you work. So if you go to interviews and they ask you, you can speak to it, right? So hopefully that helps. Now, jumping in really quick, running through this quick. Now, these are some of the certifications that they said they want to see in candidates, right? And they have it by percentages, and it goes all the way from Security Plus, CISA, and CC and others, right? So we will skip that. And then most important cybersecurity skills for entry-level professionals. They have it by country. We will look at the United States first. Ability to work in a team, big one, and data security. Critical thinking was number 2. Cloud security was number 3, right? In Canada, ability to work in a team, also number 1, problem solving, data analysis. In Germany, analytical thinking, ability to work in a team, intrusion detection and problem solving. In India, cloud security, data security, AI skills. Japan, problem solving, analytical thinking, compliance and security standards training. UK, desire to learn, problem solving, ability to work in teams, to work in a team, right? So this report is very insightful. We will share this PDF that we've created on the WhatsApp group, and then also email it as well, if email will allow us this size to send out. Top technical, non-technical, and personality attributes for 2022, 2025. The list is also here, so you can learn from, right? And this will help everyone, practice or prepping yourself for a cybersecurity role. So at least what hiring managers are looking at. Now, this is kind of the grading rubric. So okay, this is what they are looking at. These are the percentages when it comes to hiring managers, what they are exactly looking for. And professional development and retention, also they have some statistics on here as well. And I think, why does your organization have a mentorship program? Okay, that is more for the time needed to fill cybersecurity roles. Okay, so that also changes and how long it takes. So generally, compared to other IT roles, it takes more like extra 23% more, 28% more. Stand to be corrected on that to fill cybersecurity roles than other IT roles, right? And on that note, I think we've gone through the whole entire report, and the report will be made available so everybody you take your time and read through it. If you want to get ahead of it, go to ISC Square's website, and then you look for reports. You see they have a whole bunch of reports on there, right? This is the 2025 cybersecurity job trends on there. So you'll be able to see the report together with other ones. And they have one for HR managers also, specifically looking at other parts of the HR managers as well. But this is for anyone who is looking to break into the industry. Even if you're in already, you might be looking for a second gig or something of that nature. This is the grading rubric, right? So the playbook for HR is literally what ISC Square has made available for everyone, right? So on that note, if there are any questions, kindly bring it up before we wrap up. But we are about to wrap up, and I appreciate everybody's. Okay, so Apia was saying we should send contacts. Okay, Apia, so that has been posted in the chat. I think you'll be able to get hold of that. And if you are seeking to speak to Dr. Edu, you can schedule an appointment with the link that has been posted in there. If you need help with anything, cybersecurity career-wise, or if you want to make inquiries about any of our programs, you can kindly do so by using the link on there to make an appointment. Okay, and I think, Fabi, yes, of course, you can put on your resume, so we can put, yes. I know if you're asking about the internship, yes, of course, that goes on your resume as well. And when did it start? Okay, I think there are some answers in the chat. Appreciate everybody's answer that they put in the chat. Some team lives in the chat, and some shout outs. Okay, so some shout outs in there also as well. Appreciate everybody's time. I think we ran out of time a little bit, so we'll do a quick run through. We have Fred is joining us from San Antonio, Texas. Stephen is joining us from Ohio. Abdullah Tef, Abdullah, Abdul, hopefully I didn't get your name messed up on that. United Kingdom from the UK. Thank you for joining us. And then some team lives in there. George joining us from Ghana. Chucks from Boston. And some team lives in there as well. Williams from Illinois. And Joel is joining us from North Carolina. How are you doing, Joel? Williams and Abraham joining us from New Jersey, and some team lives in there as well. And then we have Harriet. Okay, that was team live from Harriet. Gabriel also team live, and we have Cletel from Virginia joining us from Virginia, and hopefully I got Cletel also right. Okay, and there were some answers in there for parental control and others that we were looking at. Appreciate everybody's time. Apia joined us from Maryland, Bobby, California, Clara from Charlotte, North Carolina. And on that note, we are wrapping up for tonight. Next week, we're going to have another edition of Cyber Chat, and our not Memorial Day, our Labor Day sales started already. So the recording is being streamed live on YouTube. So you have the YouTube stream on there, but the recording will be posted and made available by tomorrow to everyone. We appreciate everybody's time. Like I always say, it's Friday night, but you chose to be here. Hopefully, we gave you something for your toolbox, and you are always going to learn and get better and grow as a security professional or aspiring security professional. And on that note, have a great and wonderful weekend. We'll meet again next week, same time. Good night, everyone.
Good night.